Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Going Rounds podcast, coming to you from New Mexico this time. Unfortunately, I had to go out of town for work this week, and I was kind of hoping I'd be back home by this time. But stuff happens all the time, and gotta roll with the punches. So here I am, still in New Mexico, and oddly enough, I'm in Roswell, New Mexico right now, which is kind of funny because you just drive around and see a bunch of fucking alien stuff everywhere. Obviously, it's Roswell, right? But and coincidentally, yesterday I started listening to one of the newer Rogan podcasts, and he has some dude that's again expert on UFOs and all kinds of other shit, doing some kind of documentary about, I don't know, this, that, and the other thing that has to do with aliens. So I don't know. So weird week. But yeah, I'm here. And I'm still doing this because, well, I got to keep it going. So, there was a lot to go over from last weekend because of all of those damn fights that happened. And there's a couple big events this weekend, too. So, oh man, now I feel like I got to sneeze. Oh, hold on. All right. No? Okay. Sorry about that. uh, Yeah, so there's a couple big events this weekend, including UFC as usual. Not too many down weekends without a UFC. So, and then we got some BKFC bare knuckle fighting going on this weekend as well, and that's, I would say, the biggest event out of the two, which is surprising because usually the UFC events kind of bring the fire most of the time, but they're back at the damn Apex doing those stupid shows. So it's just not a fantastic card. And when you have an event like the BKFC event that's going on this weekend that has a bunch of ex UFC fighters on it, it's hard not to kind of, you know, give them their props and say before it even happens that that's the better event on paper. So, promotional promotion wise and all that other stuff, I don't know. What the outcome of the events are going to be, I don't know. But BKFC is kind of exciting if you watch it, especially if certain people are fighting. And some of those particular fighters are on the card this weekend, including Mike Perry, uh, who has been fighting in the BKFC for a little bit now, and every fight is crazy. Chad Mendes, who's had one fight in the BKFC, ex UFC fighter, all that good stuff. And, you know, bare knuckle means action, blood, craziness. So, yeah, we're gonna get into that a lot deeper in a little bit. But we got to get started with all the news and stuff from the week and a little bit of a recap of the past few events. There's so many. I'm just gonna kind of touch on them real quick, like because there's just so many damn fights. I think I counted there was like two Bellator, a BKFC, a one championship event, a UFC event, and then the big boxing event. So there was six things going on in a matter of 2 days, 2 nights, Friday and Saturday. There was three on Friday, three on Saturday. Kind of nuts. So shit, there might have been more. There might have been four on Friday. Shit, I don't even know. All I know is there was a lot. So we're gonna hit that up and go over that again. And I'm here. Don't have anything super interesting behind me, but at least there's a little bit of familiarity with that going around flag. Got to keep the old school alive, even though it's not really even that old. But that's the initial logo I had going. So yeah, if your chat's open, if you guys are out there watching live or whenever you hop in or anything like that, jump in, say what's up, ask questions, or comment on whatever is I'm talking about at the moment. And then don't forget to follow all my social media. It's right there. It'll be going on throughout the entire show. Most of somewhere on the screen it'll be on. Going Rounds podcast everywhere. Go check it out. Follow me. Like my stuff. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And, catch me here every Thursday, 7 p.m. Arizona time. I'm actually an hour ahead because I'm in New Mexico right now. So it's 8 o'clock for me right now. But, I had to keep it going at the normal time. Gave me a little bit of extra time to keep the prep work going and get my shit together. So, yeah, I think that's about it, man. Let's just get into all these events because there's so much, like I said. And the only other thing that I want to mention ahead of time is one championship. There were so many events, I kind of forgot. But there is a new champ over there for their Muay Thai division. Haggerty is the new champ. I heard it was a dope fight. I heard it was a great finish. But between being out of town all week means long days and not a lot of time in between work to check too much. So kind of forgot. And, all I got to say to myself is,
get your fucking shit together, my God.
That's right. If Magix was here, he would have told me the same shit. So, yeah, I missed it completely, but it's fine. I heard it was a dope fight. I just wanted to mention it. I can speak off the top here because it was such a great fight. Everyone was surprised. Super big underdog in Haggerty versus I can't remember his damn name because it's very hard to say. Either which way, he was big favorite. Lost, I believe, in the first round by a stoppage of some sort. So, yeah, go check that out. I'm gonna have to go back and find highlights from that and watch it because I missed something good. But I watched all this other shit. Like, at least got to watch some highlights and replays and everything else. So, a lot of shit to go over. So, let's, you know what I just thought about? I have a fucking UFO shirt. And I didn't put that shit on. Well, that would have been even better. In Roswell, wearing a fucking UFO shirt. Talking about UFO. What the fuck am I doing? I'm missing it here. Fuck it. Anyway, let's move on. I got to take a drink first. I don't have my normal drink. I'm sad about that. My old fashions, I miss them when I don't have them for too long. Been too long. But the good old trusty Jack and Coke still got my back. Talk about it like it's a person. Stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's get going. Let's get it running. And let's talk about the big news going on for the week. Of course, I'm sure you've seen it by now. Diaz got into some shit. Nate Diaz got into some shit this weekend. Throwing water bottles at fools. That's Chase Damore. You might know him from a Netflix show. I forgot what the fuck it's called. Who cares? Either way, apparently he's a football player of some sort. Now he is also fucking like a influencer boxer, right? This whole shit that's going down now because of Jake Paul. Well, anyway, Chris Avila was fighting, so that's why Nate Diaz is there, and I guess Chase Damore's back there talking shit. So of course, Nate's gonna support his dude and get his boys back, and he's not gonna take that shit, right? So he gets up and throws a water bottle at him. Precise aim, by the way. And of course, because Damore couldn't get to him, he decides to pick up a fucking chair, which is why you see Diaz duck and run. You gotta be stupid to just stand there if somebody's about to try to throw a fucking chair at you. So, anyway, that shit went down, right? So this is happening in the fucking event. The Misfits boxing event, I guess it is. That's KSI shit. So, yeah, fucking Diaz going nuts. Nate Diaz doing Nate Diaz shit. You can't, that's all there is to say, right? So, then, it gets worse. Spills out into the fucking streets of New Orleans. Fools are getting thrown, getting hit. Next thing you know, Diaz is choking some fool that looks like Logan Paul out. And, yeah, he put his ass out cold. Only problem, he dropped him on his fucking head. So, he did get a knee in there, in the mix, while he was choking him. But right here, bam, knee. But he's got him in the choke, and he's fucking putting him to sleep. And then he drops him and lets his head just fly and hit the fucking ground. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, it's one thing. Okay, so there's so many different angles of this video. Maybe not so many, but there's definitely one other big angle from this video, and it shows Chase DeMore on the other side of the street, kind of getting hit up by like 3 fools, and then this is happening, and you know, it looks like Diaz is trying to walk away and get away from all the shit. That fool comes up to him with his hands up. Whether he's doing this or something, why are you rushing and walking towards somebody like Nate Diaz? Like, you're fucking stupid. So, in the middle of a fight when he's got his guard up, fuck that. You know, I like Nate Diaz, but I mean, if somebody was walking at me like that, I'd be ready too. So, and you know, I don't know what I would do. I'm not the specialist and the, you know, professional that Nate Diaz is. So, for him to do it means he felt, you know, some kind of, in some kind of trouble maybe, or like someone was coming at him, so he's gonna hold his own, and that's what he did. But he let that fool drop in the end, and that's not good, because you know, that's what Rogan says all the time, and a bunch of other people say all the time. Don't fight in the streets, because you don't know if you're gonna knock the fool out, and he's gonna fall back, hit his head on concrete or asphalt, and next thing you know, he never wakes up. Something I've always been scared of when I've been in fights, but you don't think about that shit when you're in the middle of melee like this. So, you know, it's not like a professional, you know the ref's there, he's gonna stop shit, he's not gonna let shit happen. But you're out in the streets, you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Who's gonna come up behind you? Who's gonna come up next to you? Who's gonna fucking pull something out and stab you, shoot you, you know, hit you with some shit, throw something at you? You don't know. So you're on guard, right? In the middle of a fucking fight. It is what it is. Anyway, this dude that got slept is named Rodney Peterson. Apparently he's some kind of influencer type fucking dude. Apparently he's been in some boxing matches. Supposedly in amateur MMA matches. Done some grappling of some sort. So, you know, of course he probably thinks he's a fucking badass. Oh, I'm gonna go see what's up. I'm gonna step up to Nate Diaz. Like, the fuck out of here, fool. So he got slept. And then this was his video afterwards.
So, I don't know what the hell I did to Nate Diaz, but I'm telling you what, I'm gonna knock him the fuck out when I know he's coming. Okay?
Okay.
Like, you caught me off guard, dude. What, you think I was Logan? What the fuck?
Hey, Diaz, turn around. Let's see. Oh, yeah.
Dude,
That's what happened.
Nate Diaz.
so, I don't know what the hell I did to Nate Diaz, but I'm
You know
telling
what you
what,
did.
I'm gonna knock him the fuck out when I know he's coming. Okay? Like, you
So, I mean, I just let it play again because listen to that. I mean, did you get that much? Did you get a brain injury? Like, what the fuck? Or is this just how this stupid motherfucker talks all the time? I don't know, but he's a dumbass. And, you know, I'm glad he is alive and awake and able to be this stupid on a video, because, you know, some bad shit can happen when you get the back of your head busted open like that from dropping on the damn asphalt. But so lucky for Nate Diaz that he's up here talking shit still. Not lucky for this dumb motherfucker saying he's gonna do what? What are you gonna do? You ain't gonna do shit. You're gonna stand there looking like an idiot. People say Nate Diaz talks like a mumble mouth. This motherfucker's got rocks in his mouth. So, I don't know. This is just dumb. What the fuck is going on? So, yeah, I don't know. He deserved it if you ask me. Maybe Diaz should have been a little more careful and not dropped him on his fucking head. But put him to sleep. I've done it a couple times. Sometimes you got to do it. If you're not trying to get in that big fist fight brawl, sometimes you got to do it. So, anyway, whoever this motherfucker is, he better watch his back, because, you know, the Diaz crew, Scrap Pack, all those motherfuckers, they don't play. They'll fight you in the streets, as you see. The unfortunate thing, of course, as to be expected, Nate Diaz charged with a second-degree battery, arrest warrant issued. New Orleans police have issued an arrest warrant for Diaz on suspicion of second-degree battery in the wake of a Bourbon Street brawl that went viral. It went viral. It's on video, stupid. How is this alleged? Or suspicion of? Anyway, NOPD issued the charge after gathering videos of the incident in which Diaz allegedly choked unconscious Logan Paul lookalike Rodney Peterson amid a brawl that spilled out of a bar. So I guess this Rodney Peterson fool is kind of famous for looking like Logan Paul. I mean, dumbasses want to imitate dumbasses, I guess. I don't know. I guess I don't have that much against Logan Paul, but you know, the way that I've seen him act and the way this fool's acting, it's not a surprise that that's someone he's trying to be like. I want to be like Logan Paul when it comes to the fucking money he makes, but I ain't gonna be like him when it comes to how stupid he is. Just my opinion. Anyway, so yeah, that was yesterday. Today, this morning, Diaz turns himself into the authorities. According to Diaz's rep, Rosenfield, Nate turned himself into the New Orleans Police Department Thursday morning, approximately 7:10 a.m. Central Time. So, you know, you got a warrant out for your arrest. You're a high-profile person. Obviously, you're gonna have to turn yourself in at some point, or you got the popos on your ass and looking for you, snuffing you out. It's not good. So he turned himself in. He's got a good lawyer. Sounds like he's got a good story. Claiming self-defense, and to me, I mean, everyone's defending themselves in that case, so there's no charges should be brought. The dude may have got hurt, busted his head open, but he ain't dead. And yeah, he's not the one pressing charges. The fucking New Orleans Police Department is pressing charges. But are they going after all these other fools? Because just because that dude got slept and dropped in the street doesn't mean he ain't to blame for something, because he's the one going at Diaz. And then there's like 8 other fools around them fucking fighting, throwing hands, dropping each other in the streets. Like, are we only hearing about this because it's Nate Diaz? Maybe so. Chase Moore talking shit in a fucking car on a video the next day. Did he get in trouble? He was getting hit in the street too, but what? Because he wasn't able to contain the 2 people that were hitting him, he doesn't get charged? Like, what the fuck? You see it clearly in all the video. I don't know. It's all dumb shit. They all are fucking up. So, but, you know, there's always something funny that comes out of all this shit. I hope Diaz is cool. You know, it says up to 3 in New Orleans for the charge he has on him. If it goes through and stays at that level, it's up to 3 years in prison and fucking or a $2,000 fine, which is, it's an odd thing. Hopefully it's just called a $2,000 fine and that's it. I don't know. Or they let it go, because he is scheduled to fight August 5th against Jake Paul. But there's already shit talking. You know, KSI's like, oh, looks like your opponent might not be able to show up. How about I'm the backup fighter for this in case he doesn't? And Jake Paul's like, yep, you got it. You're the backup fighter. And Diaz is like, how about you 2 pussies just fight each other and I'll go fight a real fighter. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Who knows? Let's just hope no jail time is needed. And yeah, maybe hopefully the fight still happens, because everyone's hyped about it and it's set to be pretty big. I'd like to see Nate get that payday. Even more so, hopefully watch him be the first one to knock Jake Paul the fuck out. That'd be cool too. Or at least stop him with punches, not let him be able to get up. Who knows? Anyway, funny stuff, like I said, comes out of this. The internet's undefeated. There's always good memes. Here's one of them.
Motherfuckers.
Nate Diaz on the street of New Orleans at 3 a.m. That's a fucking cold ass picture right there from back in the day of John Jones putting Machida to sleep and walking away like a G, and Machida's asleep with his eyes open on the ground, looking like he just died. So this shit is funny just because of what happened. You put it all together, makes for some funny shit. So shout out to Out of Context MMA Twitter profile. Don't know who it is. All I know is they always post funny shit. So yeah, so that's the Nate Diaz drama, all up in the streets, fucking around and getting arrested. Goddamn shame. So let's move on to one of the first events that happened over the weekend. BKFC 38. So after looking through all this stuff, I realized that BKFC number schemes are weird. I don't get it. I looked up 39 and 40 because 41 is the next one, which we'll be talking about later. 39 and 40 were way off. I don't know what's happening. Hard to keep up with. It is what it is. This one happened last Friday. Obviously, Friday, April 21st is when this happened. So, you know, it's the last event that I'm going to talk about because it's the last one that you know what I mean. Fuck it, who cares? But, yeah, so, nothing too crazy came from this. You know, we had, that win, versus Daniel Strauss. And I don't know what the fuck this means because I don't think I've ever even heard of it. So I don't know. But Dat Nguyen defeated Daniel Strauss via unanimous decision after sudden death overtime round. I guess they do an extra round for sudden death if they like come to a draw, which I mean, I guess that's kind of cool that fucking they don't leave it a draw. Sudden death overtime round though, I don't think I had heard of that. So cool, whatever. Sucks to see Daniel Strauss lose though. I kind of thought for sure he was gonna have that one. That was his debut as well. So I know Dat Nguyen has had a couple fights in BKFC. So yeah, that's that one. Isaac Doolittle defeated Jake Bostwick. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the next one and putting them together. So that was a majority. See, this is what I don't get. Majority draw. Why did they go to a sudden death overtime round and won, but had a majority draw rule in another? I don't. Whatever. Maybe I gotta do some more research on BKFC because I didn't even know they had fucking rules like this. I don't know. Chauncey Wilson defeated Tyler Randall versus split decision. Eric Lozano defeated Francesco Ricci via KO in round 1. Couple KOs in. Oh, that one's round 3. TKO. Rene Rodriguez defeated Mark Johnson. And yeah, few knockouts, few decisions, and a draw. Fucking weird. I don't know. Hey, my watch is working. It was not working earlier. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, that's BKFC 38. Moving on to another one of the many events that happened. Bellator 294. Carmouche versus Bennett 2 for the Flyweight World Championship. And then you have Johnson versus Soma for the heavyweight co-main event. My computer's going nuts here. What the hell am I doing? Yeah. So, let's see. Who else did we have on this main card? Tyrell Fortune got the win over Sergey Bilosteny. Anyway, disqualification, punches to the back of the head. Okay, so that's not a very fun way to win. Apparently, Sergey was punching to the back of the head and got a DQ. So, that's how Tyrell Fortune gets that win in heavyweight. It's fine, I guess. A win's a win. Achilles Mota defeated Kenneth Cross. Submission rear naked choke in the second round. Danny Sabatello got his win after coming out that loss to... was that Daniel Strauss? Yeah. No. Who the fuck was it? Not Strauss. God damn it. Rufian Stotts. That's why I was thinking Strauss. It's Rufian Stotts. Anyway, Sabatello coming off that loss comes back and gets a win against Marcos Breno. Submission rear naked choke in the second round. Sarah McMahon in her debut for Bellator got the win against Arlene Blencow. Unanimous decision. But at the end, I got to watch the last round, and at the end of the third round, I mean, McMahon was kind of struggling, man. So I'm glad that she had those first 2 rounds in her pocket, because she was struggling a bit at the end there. She looked like she might have gotten gassed a little bit, or maybe she got hurt. But something happened, and she wasn't looking too hot at the end of that third round. But she came out with the win. And yeah, it's good for her Bellator debut. Then you had Tim Johnson versus Saeed Salma. Tim Johnson got the win by decision. I watched some of that one as well. It was good back and forth. You know, I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I kind of jumped in here and there, and I didn't really know who the winner would be. But at the end of it, it did seem like Tim Johnson had some pretty good confidence in the fact that he got that dub, and he was right. He did by unanimous decision. And then the main event, Liz Carmouche versus Deanna Bennett. Deanna Bennett's a vet, been around for a while. Kind of a crazy chick. I listened to some of her interviews. I don't know, man. She's a little bit freaky, and you know, kind of does it all in a joking way, but then not so much at the same time. Anyway, she fought Liz Carmouche, Girl Rilla. One of the pioneers of the women's division in the UFC. She took part in the first women's UFC fight against Ronda Rousey, and she had a pretty decent career over there. She gets the win to retain her belt. It was a catchweight. The hell? See, they don't make any of this stuff known ahead of time. It's just like you find out later. Anyway, she wins by submission, arm triangle choke, in the 4th round. So I mean, it went 4 rounds, almost a full 4 rounds. Not bad. I might have to go back and watch some of those highlights because I had some stuff going on this night and I wasn't able to watch all of it. So yeah. And then Bellator event number 2, which both, by the way, I wasn't sure before, both took place in Hawaii. Bellator 295 was Rufian Stotts versus Patchy Mix, which also, again, because Bellator is horrible at communicating, this was a title fight, which I didn't know because everything I read seemed like it was just a kind of a Grand Prix fight, like one of the fights in the tournament. So it was kind of weird, but either way, let's see notables on that card. Who else? Kai Kamaka III got a win over Adley Edwards, unanimous decision in the 3rd round. Aaron Pico back on a winning in the win column. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Aaron Pico back in the win column with a win over James Gonzalez, decision, all 3 rounds. Glad to see he got a win though, because he was kind of not doing well for a bit there, and he's been out for a little while too. Yancy Medeiros, hometown boy there, with the win over Charlie Leary, submission rear naked choke in the 1st round. Fuck, that was early as shit too, according to the time. Ali Malay McFarlane, main event. Co-main against Kana Watanabe. Ali Malay gets the win by split decision. So a lot of decisions in this night, but apparently, from what I hear, because I again have not gotten a chance to watch everything, Patchy Mix versus Rufian Stotts was a damn good fight, and Patchy Mix is 18-1, Rufian Stotts 19-2, but apparently Patchy Mix threw the fucking knee of all knees and knocked out Rufian Stotts in the 1st round. So right away, early, quick, all those decisions didn't matter because when it came to the main event, it was exciting, it was fun, and it was short. So Patchy Mix looking like a world beater. Nasty knee to knock out Rufian Stotts. So there you go. Bellator 295, 2nd event in 2 days for Bellator, all the way in Hawaii, doing the thing. I mean, they may not be the best at promotion, but they're putting on decent events, and they're doing it in places the UFC just won't go or can't go. They can definitely go. I know they can go, but they won't go there. I don't know why. They just will not make the event happen in Hawaii, which is fucking weird. And I wish they would do it before Max Holloway decides to call it a night and not fight anymore. But damn, it's only 7:30. I feel like I've been talking for like an hour. Yeah. So anyway, Bellator taking it to Hawaii, doing it on a fairly regular basis, and they have some good Hawaiian fighters to always showcase while they're there. So I'm sure their events do well. But UFC's yet to do it, so they're gonna keep showing them up when it comes to that and putting on decent events in places like Hawaii. Now that leads us to, speaking of UFC, UFC Vegas 71 or UFC Fight Night 222, whatever the fuck it is. Too many goddamn numbers, too many different ways to name an event. Get your shit together. Lower on the card, I mean, this was a fairly decent card. Another quick finish in the main event. We'll get to that one. But Mohammed Usman, brother of former middleweight, welterweight champ, Mauro Usman. That's his big ass brother. This fool is huge. He's a heavyweight and he's fucking ripped to shit. Against Junior Tafa, and Usman got the unanimous decision win. Norma Dumont in a featherweight bout against Carol Rosa, unanimous decision as well. Montel Jackson versus Ronnie Yaya. Ronnie Yaya did not look good, man. He's been out for a while. He's been around for a long time, but I don't know what's going on with him. He did not look good at all, and he got dropped KO by punches. Montel Jackson gets the win over him. We got Christos Gallegos, I'm sorry, versus Ricky Glenn. Gallegos gets the win, KO. Jeremiah Wells versus Matthew Semmelsberger. Wells gets a split decision win in that one. Didn't seem like too crazy of a fight, but at the same time, hold on. Oh, that scared me. What the hell? At the same time, you know, I thought it was gonna go Semmelsberger's way because he just seemed like the guy. I don't know. I had a feeling that he was gonna take this fight. Jeremiah Wells got the win instead. Yasmin Lucendo versus Brogan Walker. Brogan Walker did not look good in this fight whatsoever. I don't even know. She just didn't look like she was ready for that fight. So Lucendo took advantage, got the unanimous decision win. And then we get to the controversial shit with Bobby Green and Jared Gordon. If you watch this, I mean, it looks like Bobby Green dropped him, ground and pound, knocks him out, done, right? But it's a weird punch. Like, it's lunging, leaping at Jared Gordon, and, you know, everyone's like, oh, I think he headbutted him. Well, the slow-mo will show. He definitely headbutted him. Look at that. So what's weird, I get it, man. You know, these guys want to get the win. They get a win bonus. If they lose, they only get one check. If they win, they get two. Double the money for most of them. And, you know, so you only get half your money if you lose. So, of course, if you're going to try to find a way to get through it, when people are unsure, you're going to say, it was a punch. It was an elbow. He tried to claim it was an elbow. He was coming in with an elbow, saying that he caught him with the elbow. I don't know. Maybe he got a little rocked when they butted heads, and maybe he thought he took a punch in the mix. You know, like as he's coming in, maybe Jared Gordon got him with a punch, and that's what he was thinking. But he looked a little disoriented for a second and claiming right away of what he did, and it was definitely not that. As you can see here, clash of heads, and you know they called the fight. They said it was over. Bobby Green's the winner. Then all of a sudden, the commission gets involved. They tell him that they got to do the replay because it looked like there was a clash of heads that led to the knockout. So it was, and so it is. So Bobby Green doesn't get the win. No contest. So at least he didn't get DQ'd, right? Because maybe if it looked bad on his part that he kept following up with punches after clashing heads. But like I said, I don't even know if he knew. I don't even know if he actually knew what happened. So it is what it is, you know. It's unfortunate. He doesn't get all his money. He's pretty pissed and outspoken about that. And, you know, Jared Gordon is like, hey, you know, fucking run it back. I don't know. That was some shit. I don't like that he was talking about the fact that it didn't happen, basically. That was the only thing that rubbed people the wrong way. So Bobby Green should have just came out and said, hey, you know what? I saw the replay. I don't think I knew that I clashed my heads with him. So I was thinking the whole time. That would save him, make him not look so bad. But I don't think that's not Bobby Green. He's more focused on the fact that he's changing his name from Bobby Green to King. Straight up King. That's going to be his name from now on. Cool. I mean, his nickname was King Bobby Green, but leave it at that, man. It sounds good. Like, he's legally changing his fucking name to King. I like the dude, but I don't know what's going on. So, sometimes, man, these fighters are a little crazy. So, Moving on to Bruno Silva versus Brad Tavares. As you see here, Bruno Silva with the heavy fucking hands. I was way wrong on this one. I thought for sure Tavares was way gonna, like, just maybe not out punch him, but definitely gonna just show his skills and a lot of technique and be the vet that he is and take this win. And Bruno Silva said, hell nah, why don't you go to sleep? And yeah, that was a nasty punch. You know, didn't put him out cold, but definitely knocked him down, took him out, finished it, and he gets the win in the first round over Brad Tavares by TKO. Then we move on to the main event, and this one I was right about, because anybody that asked me, I said I'm thinking it's going to be, and I'm grabbing all kinds of drinks, I'm thinking it's going to be Pavlovich with the win, just because he's been on a fucking streak. Let's see, I wanted to look at, I think I looked at it initially, but I wanted to look again. He is on, yeah, his last loss was his first fight in the UFC. Lost to Alistair Overeem, okay? And then he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This makes his 6th straight win, all by KO or TKO. That motherfucker hits hard. That's all there is to say. Everything's like TKO punches, KO punch, TKO punches, KO punch, TKO punches. Like, goddamn. And you're beating people with big names. Maurice Green, Derek Lewis, Tai Tuivasa, now Curtis Blades. He's just filling up that fucking resume with those knockouts. And, you know, he's a big motherfucker. He's only got half an inch less of a reach than John Jones, who probably has the biggest reach at 84.5 inches or some shit like that. And on top of that, you know, a lot of people are like, hey, I think Pavlovich is actually better than Ngannou when it comes to the skill, the strength of schedule, the record, the fucking way that he's knocked everyone out. Hasn't had any boring fights. Like, damn. Yeah, man, Pavlovich is the shit. He's definitely on a run, and it's looking like he's gonna be one of the top guys to fight for the title soon. Maybe sooner than everyone thinks. But just depends on how this whole Stipe John Jones situation decides to pan out. But before this, you know, Curtis Blades was on a 3-fight win streak, so that breaks that. And his last loss was to Derek Lewis. And before that, he was on a 4-fight win streak. So he's kind of a streaky fighter, you know. He goes on a big win. At least it's a big win streak and not a big losing streak. So he goes on a big win streak, gets a loss from a big name. Goes on a big win streak, gets a loss from a big name. So I would expect next fight he's going to win. He's probably out for revenge, wants to get back in that win column and, you know, get the confidence built back up. So, yeah, that is that. Shit. Hold on. I don't even know what I'm doing. I forgot one. Here's the finish. Curtis Blades just... here's the thing. I kind of just overlooked and spaced all of it because I went off on a tangent about Pavlovich and how good he is. But that's the thing. Curtis Blades kind of just fucked himself in this fight too. It took him forever to shoot for, you know, a takedown, which is usually his thing. He's a great wrestler and he takes people down with ease, makes it look fucking easy. Why don't you do it? Why aren't you doing it? Of course, it's not the most exciting way to fight, but hey, mix it in a little bit, especially if your striking is not doing well against your opponent right away. You know, don't let yourself get in a deep hole before you try to dig yourself out with your wrestling. You're going to be knocked out quickly, or you're going to be so tired and drained from getting hit so much. You're not going to have the fucking energy to, you know, shoot like you normally do. So get your shit together and fucking do what you're good at. And at least use that to your advantage and sneak the strikes in later. You know, tire him out with that wrestling and then let him stand and try to bang with you and outstrike him. You know, don't fall in love with that boxing. Curtis Blades is a way better fighter than what he showed. Something irks me about him, though. I don't know what it is. So I don't really care too much that he lost. It's a shame, but it is what it is. And I'm sure he's going to come back. Like I said, he's always on win streaks. So I'm sure he's going to come back, you know, get his revenge for that loss and get back on the winning track. So, yeah, that's it for that one. Let's move on to the big boxing event from last week. And that was Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Now, I do have some opinions on this. I am a little pissed off because, you know, motherfuckers in boxing and everywhere else want to act like it's not okay to lose. Like, when the fuck, I mean, losing and winning are part of the fucking game. Somebody's always going to lose, someone's always going to win, and if you come to a draw, that's just fucking stupid, right? That's why soccer sucks. There's too many draws. I'm just kidding. I don't dislike soccer that much, but it's annoying to know that the fucking game, you know, football now ending in a tie. Get the fuck out of here. Like, nobody wants to see a tie. Nobody wants to see a draw. Get the fucking finish, or at least make it all however many rounds, and let's see who won at the end by points. But don't give me any of this fucking draw and tie bullshit. It's just annoying. So, anyway, here's the thing. Like, everyone's acting like Ryan Garcia wasn't shit, ain't shit, and ain't gonna be shit because he lost. Like, and the way that he lost, I get it, you know. It wasn't the most stunning way to lose. It wasn't like, oh, I don't blame the dude for dropping onto a knee and staying there. Everyone's like, oh, what a pussy, you know, what a quitter. He gave up. He wasn't even in there to fight. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck off. Fuck off. Because Ryan Garcia is a great fighter. I just don't think he was ready for Gervonta Davis. I don't think he was ready for that caliber of fighter. I don't think he was ready for that level of fighting. And I don't think he's just ready. And so when that happens, like Canelo versus Mayweather, Mayweather caught Canelo before Canelo was Canelo that we know now. So it's the same shit, you know? And don't forget, Gervonta Davis decided that he wanted to put that hydration clause in. So neither one of them, he knew he could make it easy. Neither one of them could get past 10, like gain 10 pounds back. Couldn't gain more than 10 pounds back or some shit like that. Who gives a fuck? Hydration clause is stupid. You know, if he kills himself to get down to the weight that he's fighting you at, then he deserves to go back up to whatever fucking weight he can get to. That's on you. You took the fight, motherfucker. You deal with it. That's how it goes. That's how the game works right now. So, yeah, you put the hydration clause in. Ryan Garcia gave up all kinds of shit. All kinds of shit just to get this fight. Just so that what usually happens in boxing doesn't happen again. Doesn't keep happening. Trying to break the cycle. Decides, hey, I'll give up whatever they want. Let the purses be what they are. Fucking hydration clause, check. I'll do it. Whatever. Showtime and not the Zone or fucking wherever he's promotion with and broadcast from usually, whatever the fuck any of it is. He said, yeah, do it. Whatever Tank wants, because I just want this fight. You know, that's great, but you know, it sucks when in the end you lost. So, anyway, it's just, I've heard a lot of people talking shit, even Luke Rockhold and Mike Perry. Rockhold's like, oh, I'm not Ryan Garcia. You hit me to the body. I'm not going to stay down. Mike Perry's like, I'll hit you so many times to the body, you'll drop faster than fucking Ryan Garcia. Like, why? Already? Butt of the joke? Like, is this his no moss moment? Like, what the fuck? This shit is crazy, bro. Like, crazy. I don't understand it. Fucking boxing is so stupid sometimes. And this shit is just dumb. I get it. Garcia is kind of full of himself sometimes. People don't like his demeanor. People don't like the way he acts. I feel like he's kind of a quiet dude. You know, when he talks his shit, he talks his shit. But that's part of the game too, right? And on top of that, I don't know. There's just something people don't like about him, I guess. I did not know about this until this event. I didn't know how much it was that way. You know, Gervonta Davis talks mad shit. But I get it. He backs it up too. But he talks corny shit too. I don't. They were both kind of corny when it came to the shit talking. So, either which way, you know, Gervonta got the best of him all around. You know, he dropped him once in the middle of the fight, and then he got the finish. in the 7th round. This happened in the 2nd round. We'll get to that in a minute, but you know, they did exchange punches. Garcia got some licks in as well. He was looking pretty decent for, you know, in the earlier rounds. Got himself a nice uppercut here. You know, Garcia's a good boxer. I mean, that's all there is to it. He's still young, and I just don't think he was ready. And that's just my opinion. You know, if you think he was ready and he just, you know, shit the bed, then cool, that's fine. I just don't think he was ready for this caliber of fight yet, but everyone's always like, you got to test yourself, you got to prove yourself. He just thought he was ready for this test, but, you know, there's also speculation that he was already hurt coming in. You know, he put out a tweet or an Instagram post saying he found who the rat was, and that it sucks that some people that he thought was his family in his camp were actually, you know, someone who was a rat and a mole, and fucking leaked out information about, and I guess one of his ex-sparring partners right away took offense to that, thinking that Ryan was talking about him, because I guess in sparring this dude dropped Ryan to the body and hurt him, and so they think, I don't know, just fucking, I don't know, just drama, fucking drama, man. But you know, either which way, seems like there's a possibility Garcia was hurt coming in. You're always hurt somehow coming into a fight. At least that's what MMA fighters say. I don't know about boxers, but I just found out that Israel Adesanya fought that last fight with a torn ACL or some shit. Tore his ACL. There's video of it. It's insane. He's like pretty much crying on the ground, and then he goes and fights and wins a championship like a few weeks later. Kind of fucking nuts. But anyway, he was injured, apparently. That's what they're saying. And someone leaked that info to Gervonta, his camp, saying maybe that's why he was hitting to the body a lot. But you know, like I said, Garcia got his in as well. Oh, what? Oh, shit, I know what I did. Ha, there we go. Yeah, Garcia got his in too, though. As you can see here, landed some good flush punches. Caught Gervonta Tank Davis off guard. Put his ass up against the ropes too. You know, it was a good fight. And it went 7 rounds. Unfortunately, you know, Tank did what Tank does. Heavy hands, landing big punches, and, you know, wearing you out and wearing you down. And Tank is just that good right now. He deserves the position he's in. You know, I'm not going to say I don't like him, but I also am not going to say, oh, I definitely like Tank Davis. I think he's fucking talented. He's a little off. He's a little weird. I don't understand. I don't understand it. I guess all these dudes are a little weird, but Tank is a little weird. If you watch the video of John Jones meeting him, it was odd. It was awkward and weird. I don't know. John Jones is also weird sometimes too, but Tank is just weird. I don't get it. Either way, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyway, Davis, like I said, big shots and then rip into the body, and that wore down Ryan Garcia for sure. You could tell as soon as he kept putting those body punches together and, you know, landing them over and over again, fucking Garcia was looking like there wasn't a lot left. So here it is, the shot that took him down in right there. I mean, if you blinked, you missed it. And there's the knee, because it was a delayed reaction, because, you know, it's a liver shot. You don't feel it right away. You see him kind of wince a little bit, and then he's walking back, getting ready, bouncing, and then next thing you know, he's like, oh shit. Like, he said he couldn't breathe all of a sudden, and that's, it is what it was right there. And here's a bit of a better angle. Slow-mo, bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 ex-UFC fighters, 4 of which are headlining right here on the poster. Mike Perry versus Luke Rockhold, fighting at 185 for bragging rights. I don't know why I said 4. BKFC, bare knuckle. You know, this is Luke Rockhold's first fight, his debut in BKFC, against Mike Perry, a grizzled vet. Motherfucker's crazy, always bleeding, always making people bleed, and always being weird. Again, with the weird shit, I know. But, you know, Mike Perry's off the fucking wall all the time. So, and then we also got Chad Mendes versus Eddie Alvarez, which is a pretty damn good fight if you ask me. We'll see how Eddie Alvarez is in bare knuckle boxing because he's never done it before. This is his debut fight as well. Chad Mendes has one fight that he won already in BKFC, but he's already talking like this might be his last fight and go back into retirement, which would be cool. You know, come out, do a couple of events, and if he wins this one, he goes out 2-0 in the BKFC. That's pretty dope for coming out of retirement. But you know, I like Eddie Alvarez a lot. I always have. And the Underground King. Let's see if he can do it in bare knuckle. So, oh, and I forgot, we actually have there's probably like 7 ex-UFC fighters. We'll get to them right now. Let's go through the card though. We've got Dan Spawn versus Chris Camozzi. Chris Camozzi being number 1, starting with these matchups here. He's number 1, so we'll count this. Number 1 UFC, or the first UFC fighter, first ex-UFC fighter. That's what the fuck I'm trying to say. I don't know. Let me get to Chris Camozzi though. His actually, I think, no, that's not her. Wait, is it? No, I was about to say something about his girlfriend, but I don't think that's her. I don't think that's him, is what I'm trying to say. That, yeah, anyway, okay. So, looking at it, you know what? There's another ex-UFC fighter a little bit lower than this one even. I gotta get my shit together. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. Fucking Brandon Gertz, I believe, fought in the UFC as well. He is 0-1 currently in BKFC, and he is fighting Christian Torres, who is 2-3 in the BKFC. God damn. Yeah. All right. So another ex-UFC fighter. And then we got Chris Camozzi versus Dan Spawn. Dan Spawn is, dude, all these guys debuts, like, haven't fought yet in BKFC. It's so weird. Sometimes it is so weird trying to cover these events and finding out that it's like their first time fighting in this promotion or this sport in general. Like, it's crazy. Chris Camozzi's 1-0 in the BKFC is though, and they are first up. And Dan Spawn was in Cage Fury and the LFA at one point in time. So he is an ex-MMA fighter, also in the UFC. I believe he was on an Ultimate Fighter. But he's got heavy hands from what I understand, so bare knuckle boxing might be the right move for him. Chris Camozzi, big knockout against another ex-UFC fighter, Bubba McDaniel, in his one and only other BKFC fight. Knocked him out cold too, like, it was nasty. And I like Bubba McDaniel. I actually got to meet him at the Fan Expo I went to back in the day. He was a really cool dude, but unfortunately got slept by Chris Camozzi. Then actually two other ex-UFC fighters. Josh Copeland is, man, I have something that's just tickling my nose and it's driving me crazy. Josh Copeland versus Ben Rothwell. So this just seems like Ben Rothwell's sport. Like, I don't even know. This is like what he was made to do. But Josh Copeland is 1-0 in the UFC, fucking A. In the BKFC. Defeated Levi DaCosta. Let's see. Shit, it doesn't say. Whatever. Anyway, 1-0. Ben Rothwell is also 1-0 in the BKFC. He beat Bobo Bannon, so they're scheduled to fight this Friday at BKFC during this big event. Ben Rothwell is always fun to watch. Big ass dude, heavy hands. So that should be exciting, because so is Josh Copeland. And here's a bit of an example. Big punches coming from Copeland. Gloves or not. This fool connects and he hurts you. But Ben Rothwell is a fucking beast. Just towering over people. being a fucking bully and beating the shit out of you. So that should be a damn good fight. That's one that I actually want to see, and hopefully I get a well, I don't know. This event's like $50 for the pay-per-view. And I get it. They got a bunch of big name ex-UFC fighters. So, you know, and it's a pay-per-view. There's a lot of names on this card. But next up is Fajeda? I don't know. Christine for fucking A. I'm gonna struggle with that. Christine Ferreira versus Beck Rawlings. Beck Rawlings being an ex-UFC fighter as well. And Ferreira this is a championship belt. She is the women's flyweight champ at the moment for BKFC. Beck Rawlings, I believe, is a former champ in the BKFC as well. Fajeda, I don't know. 6-1. Rawlings is 3-1. I don't know that Beck Rawlings has fought in a while. Let me see. Last fight, June of last year. Yeah, she lost to Britain Hart. Before that, she won 3 in a row. One against Britain Hart as well. So this should be a good one. Beck Rawlings has been doing pretty well in BKFC, as a matter of fact. And, you know, it seemed like a good move for her to go over there from the UFC. So we'll see how she does against the current champ. See if she can get that belt. Ferreira is just a beast, though. Big, heavy punches. Makes people bleed. And definitely is great at bare knuckle boxing. But like I said, Beck Rawlings came out and, you know, came up pretty quick and was pretty popular in BKFC when she got over there. So we'll see what kind of fight she puts up for that championship belt. Then we're moving on to Chad Mendes versus Eddie Alvarez. Two exciting ex-UFC vets that this is a fight I'm excited to see, man. This is like something you wouldn't think you'd see at any point in time, and then you get to witness it. Maybe they're a little older, maybe they're a little past their prime, but in bare knuckle boxing, like fucking A. I haven't been that big on bare knuckle boxing for the most part, but this is an event that I feel is going to be pretty damn good. So, and that's that's because Chad Mendes has not big hands, but heavy hands, heavy hands, and he likes to throw those motherfuckers, as you can see. And when he lands hard. So Chad Mendes he's a little fucking pit bull, man, like little stocky fucker, and he's quick and he's got a lot of power. So here he is with a nasty uppercut on Jose Aldo, of all people. That is, I mean, straight up under the fucking chin, dug that shit in, knocked the head back. You do that shit with bare knuckles, he's gonna fuck a fool up. And unfortunately, that fool might be Eddie Alvarez, because that's who his opponent is. Eddie Alvarez, the underground king, the Philly boy, you know, connecting here with Dustin Poirier in that crazy ass fight they had. As you can see, Eddie Alvarez gets busted up, almost always winds up with a cut and bleeding. Another one of those guys with a lot of scar tissue in their face. And I guarantee this fucking fight, he's gonna be bleeding, because bare knuckle means lots of blood, and he's gonna fucking... This chair is so uncomfortable. I do this every time. I need to like bring something to sit on that's a little more comfortable, because I sit in this chair for so fucking long while I prep this stuff. Then I have to be here for another hour plus doing the actual show. It's tiring. It's not the most comfortable chair. Not like mine at home. Anyway, Alvarez, though, fast hands, good combos, hard punches. He's a fucking dog, and he's there to fight, and he's there for a long time, because it's very hard to just finish him and get him to be done, to knock him the fuck out. It's hard. We'll see how he holds up in bare knuckle, though. Whole different game. A lot of striking, hands only. Let's do it. I'm excited. I'll watch it somehow, or I'll catch all the fucking highlights. Maybe I'll just buy it, because I don't think I have a lot going on this weekend, so it might be pretty goddamn entertaining. I'm happy I don't have a lot going on either. Sitting at home, chilling. Haven't got to do that for a while. Had a lot of busy ass weekends. and now being gone all week for work, it's much needed to just chill at home. Anyway, moving on to the main event. Mike Perry versus Luke Rockhold. This should be exciting as well. The lead up, it's fucking weird. Because Rockhold is that, like, just kind of stoic dude. Like, he talks all monotone and slow and fucking whatever. And then you got Mike Perry, who doesn't know what he's saying half the fucking time. Doesn't say the right shit most of the time, but always knows what he means and gets his point across, and just always talking shit. So it's been an interesting lead up. I've listened to some of their, back and forths with interviews. A lot of people had them on together, and then just random shit. So should be a great fight. I'm excited. Mike Perry is the fucking BKFC king right now to me when it comes to ex-UFC fighters. Look at him, just spitting blood, not giving a fuck. This is against Julian Lane, who is another ex-UFC fighter. All these fools are. Julian Lane is the "let me bang, bro." If you watched The Ultimate Fighter, he was the one screaming and crying, "Just let me bang, bro." It's fuck. I don't know. I guess you gotta know what I'm talking about. But it's funny. Go watch it. Look up Julian Lang, The Ultimate Fighter. You'll find it real quick. Anyway, he's a crazy fuck too. These two fools actually got into it in the stands or in the seats ringside one time. Kind of funny. Mike Perry got the win against Julian Lang though. And Mike Perry also fought MVP Michael Venom Page from Bellator. That crazy striker, caves people's heads in with his knee, fucking crazy kicks, all kinds of shit. But he couldn't hang with Mike Perry and BKFC. Whole different game, whole different story. Can't use those crazy karate kicks that he does. So not being able to utilize one of his biggest weapons, he didn't fare well and got dropped a couple times by Mike Perry. And Mike Perry got that win over him. There's a little more action against Julian Lane. Fucking Mike Perry gets out there, gets bloody, and makes you bloody. I keep saying that. That's the way it is in BKFC. It's kind of fucking crazy. Bare knuckles. It's a crazy thing to do. But going against Luke Rockhold, who is actually a little bit bigger than him and also has heavy hands. When he gets those strikes off and lands, he lands hard. He's just a big dude. But, he didn't look too great in this last fight besides a couple punches here and there like this. Against Paulo Costa, this is his retirement fight where he got his face all bloodied up and then was dripping snot and blood from his nose all over into Paulo Costa's face. It was a fucking crazy, savage ass moment. Fucking weird too, but entertaining as shit. So Rockhold is about it. And if he catches you like he did to Chris Weidman here, he's got a big overhand right, follows up with another one, and wait, that was a left. Did I really say right? The fuck? That's a right. Two different shots. I don't know what I'm saying. I got confused because I looked away. Anyway, big hands, big punches. Supposedly has sparred with a lot of top level boxers in the past, and he's pretty damn confident about himself. So this should be a damn good fight, and I'm excited to see what Rockhold can do in bare knuckle. But Mike Perry right now is the fucking king of bare knuckle, and especially after beating Michael Venom Page like he did. So Rockhold has something to prove coming in here on his debut, and we'll see how that pans out. So now we get to the final event. That is probably not going to be as good as that bare knuckle fighting card that I just went over, because that shit, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. And this card is just not that stacked. That's all there is to it. It's not that big of a card. Song Yadong versus Ricky Simone. I almost forgot his fucking name. This one it got canceled a couple weeks ago to be made for the main event of this fight card, because this card just didn't have a lot. So they needed a main event. Something else fell out. So they took him off main eventing the other card and put him on this one. Which is good, because like I said, this card needed it. But how's it gonna go? I don't know. Song Yadong's a great fighter, exciting. Ricky Simone is always involved in a war, so this could be a damn good fight. But who knows how the rest of the card's gonna be. Sometimes these are those sleeper cards that you just don't expect it, and next thing you know, it's like the best card. Has some of the best fights. So we'll start off here with Josh Quinlan versus Trey Walters. And for this one, you know, Quinlan has really good striking and heavy hands, and he's always going for those big punches. But Trey Walters is apparently a really, really good wrestler. So this should be, you know, either exciting or a very boring fight. It could go either way. But where was I going with that? I'm sorry. Josh Quinlan was... Fuck, man. Don't tell me the internet's being slow now. Anyway, it's always a toss-up when I'm out of town. I never know. I always freak out when I see stuff start going slow. I'm like, oh shit, everything's gonna crash. Anyway, he's coming from... Josh Quinlan coming from Dana White's Contender Series. Actually had a no contest there. But his first fight in the UFC, he won against Jason Witt, August of last year. But people talk highly of him, so I haven't watched him fight, so I'm not sure. But Trey Walters, like I said, is a pretty damn good wrestler. Coming off a win in LFA, a KO win. Oh, that's right, he just became champ in the LFA like 2 weeks ago. And then he's fighting this weekend in his debut fight for the UFC. That's kind of nuts. He was also in Dana White's Contender Series and lost there. That's probably why he was in LFA trying to get wins to get back up to the UFC, which is good because he did it. And now he's here. I was looking at... There's not much going on in the prelims. So this is the first fight of the main card. Like I was saying, Quinlan with the big punches against... Who is that? I thought I knew that was off the top of my head, but I don't. Anyway, big punches from Quinlan. Waters has KO power as well. This is his, I believe, his last fight. So, you know, this could be, like I said, a very exciting fight. If they decide to stand and bang, it could just turn into a slugfest. But, yeah, moving on to... Marcos Rogerio de Lima, too many fucking names, against Waldo Cortez Acosta. Again, too many fucking names. Like, first name, last name. Why do we got to do all this? Too much. I don't care, really. But, you know, it's funny. Especially when there's two guys with multiple names like that going up against each other. But, de Lima, big KO power against Ben Rothwell, who we just talked about in BKFC. De Lima kind of worked Rothwell, not Rockhold, Rothwell. Big crazy fucking punches against a big dude like Rothwell, and definitely knocked him silly. Set him up with those kicks, big overhand right, and then just came in with the fucking fury. But he's going up against Acosta, and Acosta's got heavy hands and big power too. So this is just a big boy fight with big boy power. Should be exciting. Hopefully it doesn't go to the distance and somebody gets fucking knocked out, because that's what you want with big heavyweights like this. Moving on to Julian Erosa versus Fernando Padilla. Julian Erosa is 28-10. Fernando Padilla is 14-4. This seems like a weird matchup, okay? Because I don't believe... Let's see. Erosa, okay, coming off a loss to Alex Caceres, but before that was on a 3-fight win streak. Caceres is one of those weird fighters, though, man. You never know if you're going to be able to hang with him or he's just going to outwork you. Fernando Padilla, though, I'm not exactly sure who that is, and I couldn't really find too much on him. I think he was in the LFA. Oh, this is cool. Oh, there we go. He is a Mexican fighter. He was in Fury FC and the LFA. Got his last 2 fights were wins for him. He fought Spike Carlisle, who is a Bellator fighter, back in 2019. That's about the only name I know off of his record. Anyway, I guess he's making his UFC debut against Julian Erosa. Not a fucking easy fight for your first one, man. So, good luck on that shit. But Julian Erosa, why I say that is because he does have good power and good submissions from what I understand. So, he's definitely got the upper hand in this fight, I believe. And Padilla, don't know much about him. Looks like he's a decent striker. And yeah, good luck on your first fight against Julian Erosa, bro. That's rough. Next fight. Rodolfo Vieira versus Cody Brundage. Fucking, what am I, dyslexic or just can't talk apparently? Cody Brundage. These two, everyone's talking about this one being one of the sleeper fights that everyone thinks is going to be a damn good fight. So that's a good thing. Vieira is coming off a loss to Chris Curtis. That was a unanimous decision back in June of last year. So looking to come back and get in the win column against Cody Brundage, I think. Brundage, yeah. It's fucking saying the wrong shit. Cody lost against Michael Oleksiejczuk, who is actually on this card coming up on one of the next fights. That was his last loss in December. But before that, he beat Tresean Gore and Dolce Lung. I can't say that fool's name. Anyway, 2-fight win streak before that. Then lost to Oleksiejczuk. So this should be a pretty decent fight. A lot of people talking about this one. Vieira, good striking, but he's also very good on the ground. And well, he's not even on the ground there, but you know what I mean. Good submissions. This was a pretty crazy picture, looking like he's just crawling up on him, and it's got that choke in deep. So Brundage has to look out for that, but he does have big power, good strikes, crazy ground and pound. This looks insane, just how he's mounted on top of him and kind of holding his head up as he's just dropping bombs. So yeah, we'll see what that one looks like. Not too bad of a matchup there. And man, there is a lot of fights on this main card. I believe there's 6 on this main card, which is kind of crazy. Next fight, I'm looking because I forgot to change the name on that one. Caio Borralho against Michael Oleksiejczuk. I don't even know how I'm even able to say that fucking name. Either way, this should be a good one because this dude, I can't say his fucking name. Caio. Fuck it, who cares? This fool's all tatted up. It's crazy. I don't even know what it says on his fucking neck, but it's kind of weird. I think one of these other pictures show it a little better. This dude is apparently the co-main event king. Motherfucker's always on the co-main event. Fighting against Mikhail. It's not Michael. It's Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Fuck. I get tired even just trying to say those names. Oh shit, I just pressed the wrong thing. God damn it. Give me a second. Let me fix this. There we go. Yeah. Borralho. Whatever. However the fuck you say his name. Crazy, furious punches on the ground. So this dude just comes out ready to fucking brawl, basically. Big punches. Free spirit is what it says on his fucking neck. So weird. And it's just big, like, across his fucking neck. But to free spirit? Like, well, weird. I don't get it. Wouldn't be something I'd get, but anyway. He seems like a pretty exciting fighter. A lot of people high on him. Always does well in the co-main event. We'll see when he gets that main. Oh man, I just like punched myself in the fucking ear. We'll see when he gets that main event slot though, against Oleksiejczuk, who big fucking overhand against Sam Alvey of all people, which is sad. Watching Sam Alvey go out like this because he took too many fucking big hits at the end of his career. Oleksiejczuk being one of the ones to give it to him as well. And he's got some pretty decent combinations, body shots, kicks, punches to the head, uppercut, overhand. He does it all. This fool likes to throw, and this should be a pretty exciting fight. So, check that one out, co-main. And moving on to the main event. Here we go. Song Yadong versus Ricky Simone. Don't call him Simon, he gets mad. Don't make jokes about Song Yadong. You might get kicked in it. Just kidding. I don't know if he gives a shit, but it's funny saying his name, Song Yadong. I don't know. Maybe I'm just immature. I'm sure everybody laughing when they hear that one. Yadong, though. Song with the big kicks. So you can definitely come ready for that. He comes at you fast and furious and throws strikes from everywhere. So, and he's got enough power to knock you out. Marlon Moraes getting dropped. That was it for him. Nasty, quick, tight uppercut just puts out Moraes. And Moraes is no joke. So, that's something you got to be careful with when it comes to Song. But Ricky Simone also has good striking. Has that, look at that. Put him on the stanky leg. Little bit of a delayed reaction, but big punches to follow up and gets that dub right there. And he also has submissions. Here's the finish of that. You know, he works the position and then locks it in and gets him to tap. There you go. Ricky Simone. Good submissions, good striking. Pretty decent card. Co-main and main could be very exciting. Couple sleeper fights at the bottom, I think. So it might be a surprise, but I don't know that it's going to be as exciting as BKFC 41. So it is what it is. Watch what you want to watch. You can watch UFC for free if you have ESPN. And BKFC costs like $50. So I guess you got to figure out if you want to pay for it or if you want to just watch the free shit and catch the highlights later. Either way, decent fighting events for this weekend. Last weekend we had a ton. This weekend only a couple big ones, but you know, I feel like that BKFC, you're gonna get some excitement and entertainment out of that card for sure. Whether you're just watching it through social media with updates and highlights, or if you watch the whole thing. But that's it for me. I'm all talked out. I think I've had enough days this week that have tired me out. My brain hurts. And I'm happy I got to do this, and it seems like it held up on YouTube, so that's cool. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Catch me here every Thursday, 7 p.m., Going Around's podcast. I'm going to see if I can get someone on next week as a guest. It's been a while since I've had a guest. Maybe Clark, maybe Patrick, maybe both. I haven't talked to either one of them about it, really, so I need to get on that. If you guys are listening, hit me up if you want to be on the podcast next week, Patrick or Clark. But yeah, I think it's about time. And there is a pay-per-view next week. Next weekend. So that would be a good time. I like talking to other people about pay-per-views because these fight nights come every goddamn week, right? So talking about the pay-per-view is, you know, it's always a bigger fight and it's always exciting matchups that everyone's waiting for. So this one is May 6th, and it is UFC 288. Aljamain Sterling versus Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo's back and fighting for that belt, trying to get his belt back against Aljamain Sterling. That's a bantamweight title fight. And then the co-main event is Bilal Muhammad versus Gilbert Burns, fighting for number one contender pretty much, and fighting for that title fight. This is a matchup that should have happened a while back and has it, so that should be good. Jessica Andrade versus Yan Xiaonan for women's strawweight. Mozart Evilov versus Bryce Mitchell. That motherfucking flat earther. Crone Gracie back to fight Charles Jourdain. So yeah, not a bad card. Let's see who we got in the prelims. Drew Dober versus Matt Frivola. That's the main event for the prelim fights. That's a damn good fight right there. Matt Frivola's on a roll. Drew Dober is a badass. Kennedy and Nzechukwu versus Devin Clark. Yeah, not too bad of a prelim card either. So yeah, there we go. Come back next week and we will recap these fights and go over that pay-per-view, whatever other events are going on. See what else is going on in combat sports news. See what's up with Nate Diaz. I don't know. We'll talk about it all again next week. Thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to follow all my social media. It's been going on down there all night. Going Around's podcast everywhere. And if you want to just listen to audio only, wherever you get your podcasts, you can find me. And if you don't find me there, let me know. I'll get it there. So don't forget to subscribe. Share this with a friend. Help me grow my channel. Help me keep this going. I don't do it for anything other than the love of it. I like doing it, but it's cool if people listen and watch and stuff too and support. I appreciate everybody that does support me already. But keep it coming. Let your friends know. Tell them to come check it out. And, we keep rolling, keep doing the damn thing, and hopefully getting better every time. Even when I'm out of town and I don't have the fancy stuff behind me, I still get it done. So, catch me next week. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Enjoy all the fights. Oh, shit. What did I do? I'm fucking things up right at the end. Enjoy all the fights. Hopefully you get to catch them. Until next time, I'm out this bitch. Hopefully I don't have to deal with any aliens out here in Roswell. Just kidding. I'm out. Peace.